Over the past several years, there has been incredible progress around the destigmatization and decriminalization of psychedelic substances. The legal landscape is changing rapidly. And one thing that is beautiful to witness is how states like Oregon and Colorado have fully legalized psilocybin. We also know that MDMA will likely be approved by the FDA to treat PTSD, and psilocybin will be approved by the FDA to treat major depressive disorder and treatment-resistant depression. Unfortunately, all of these laws and regulations are specific to high doses and not to microdoses. And yet, the vast majority of people who engage with psychedelic substance are microdosing psychedelics. They're not interested necessarily in taking 5 grams of mushrooms or drinking ayahuasca. They want to work with it on a consistent basis in the comfort of their own home, maybe once or twice a week, just as an overall life enhancer. And so although it's critically important and so beautiful that we've had so much progress, the hard truth is that the vast majority of legislation and regulation is not reflective of actual reality. And this is why just a couple years ago, we started the Microdosing Collective, a 501c3 nonprofit out of the state of California whose sole focus is to ensure that microdosing is legalized. Because if we want a cultural integration of these powerful medicines, then we need to ensure that we're creating regulation that actually reflects the way that the vast majority of people are working with psychedelics. Now, decrim is a great model. There's no doubt about that. Detroit, Oakland, Seattle have all decriminalized psychedelics. But decrim leaves room for uncertainty. Take my mom, for example. My mom has never used psychedelics. So if I were to tell her, yeah, just grow your own mushrooms, or maybe just find someone downtown who you can get them from, she would scoff at that. She's not clinically depressed, she doesn't have PTSD, so she couldn't get approval by the FDA to work with psychedelics. But if there was a legal and regulated microdosing market, if she knew that she could go online and safely purchase psilocybin in very precise amounts, she knew that it was third-party tested by a lab, then that would make her way more willing to actually engage with this substance just to help her with a little bit more energy, to help enhance her mood, to help make life a little bit more flowy and smooth and all those sorts of things. This is why microdosing must be legalized. We must reach not just Venice, California, and Brooklyn, New York. We must reach all of America, including people like my parents in Michigan. Now, one more thing that I'll emphasize. Terence McKenna was quoted as saying that only 5 to 10% of people are actually interested in being psychonauts, or actually interested in ego dissolution and really exploring that. The vast majority of people might just want to take these lower doses, these microdoses, as a way to experience a physiological enhancement, but not necessarily lose touch with all of reality. And so if we really want a cultural integration of psychedelics, if we want this third wave of psychedelics to be successful, we need to ensure that everyone can access microdosing supplements in a safe, lab-tested, and responsible way. So again, this is why we've started the Microdosing Collective. This is why we believe it's important to legalize microdosing. So if you're interested in supporting the Microdosing Collective as a 501c3, just go to microdosingcollective.org and we will be more than happy to have a conversation with you, to welcome you into our community, and to leverage your support to ensure that there is regulatory policy that reflects the desires of the vast majority of humans who are interested in working with psychedelics. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The psychedelic space is evolving every day, and we have a ton of amazing content that's coming out, and subscribing is the best way to keep up to date with all of that great content.